next day. You can see I started the plastering. I'm just doing it on the back here. Got that all done, plus 2 big batches of adobe mixed. I've still got most of one, but it took about 3, maybe 4 hours. So it's just a scratch coat. You can see it's rough, it's supposed to be, so that the next coat will have something to attach to. Alright, it's the end of the day. I got a little bit of the west side done as well, and the whole back. So that's what I got done in one day. It's the next morning. The adobe's kind of drying out a little bit. There's a few cracks, but that was to be expected. This is just the scratch coat, so it'll all get plastered over again with a finish coat. But yeah, today I'm not going to be doing any more plastering. I'm moving on to the little bottle wall up top here. It's a small area, but it'll probably be a lot more mud to mix, just with how thick it's going to be. But I've got some bottles over here. I just kind of washed them. They're drying out right now, but I got to get those taped together. I've made a few here. Clear ones. They're just made out of shot glasses taped together. So yeah, I'll get all these green ones, and then I've got some more brown ones in here that need cleaned. But I'll get these all taped together and mix a batch of mud and start building it. It's about midday. It took me quite a while to get all these bottles cleaned and taped together. But I'm gonna go ahead and mix a batch and start filling in those gaps. I only have enough bottles to put 7 or 8 per little space up there. So I kind of drew it out on the pallet here. You can kind of see it's roughly going to be the spacing. I'm not going to go for any pattern. I'm just going to try and randomly throw them in there. Random colors, random spacing. So this is a big pile of adobe or cob or whatever you want to call it. It's just a mixture of sand, straw, and clay that I mixed together on the tarp. So that's what I'm going to use to kind of mortar all those bottle bricks together. Alright, I got the first 2 done. There's cans in there. Those cans will be covered up with plaster. It'll just be the bottles that are exposed. The cans kind of just take up space, make it a little lighter so it doesn't slump down. But a matrix of mud around them is kind of the structure, and they just kind of take up space. Give you an up close view. The nice thing about adobe is it doesn't matter if you leave this on, you can just clean it off in months or whatever. If you're doing this out of cement, you really got to be on it cleaning your bottles as you go, or else it's really hard to get cement off. But with the adobe, it's nice and easy. A little shot from inside, you can see some of the light already coming through them. Alright, coming to the end of the day. I didn't quite finish. Still got 2.5 little sections left. Alright, got that bottle wall all done up there. That'll all get plastered over and smoothed over so that all you'll see is the bottles. And then if you notice down here, I just kind of started throwing all the plaster cob mix onto this window over here. I started using a different method. I was using the trowel, but that was taking a long time. The main reason I did that the other day was because my hands were freezing with the mud, but it's nice and warm today. So I've just been throwing it at it and then shaping it with the trowel after. So maybe I'll move over to this one, my little test patch, and I'll try and make it look the same. Maybe take a little time lapse of it. All right, so originally this was my test piece to see how the adobe mix went. So I had kind of smoothed it out a little bit, but that's not going to be very good for attaching another layer. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of score it up. See how hard it is going out. It still holds up pretty well. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and get that wet and then start the next layer. Alright, once it's nice and wet and scored up, good to just start throwing the mud at it. Alright, it's the next day. Just wanted to show kind of what I got done yesterday. It's kind of slowly starting to dry over here. That cob mixture. There's a little bit of cracking, but that's nothing too bad to worry about. I kind of stuck these little tea light candle bases in there. Not sure if I'll keep them or not, but I stuck those in when it was wet yesterday. I think the plan for today is to finish up the plastering. It rained last night when it wasn't supposed to, so a lot of my stuff, my boots and everything are wet, so it's don't have a bunch of motivation right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix a batch and try and get the rest of the outside plastered today. Not sure if I'll get up to the top. I kind of want that cob mixture to dry a little bit, but all the pallets I'm gonna try and get covered in mud. And then maybe tomorrow morning I can get that bottle wall plastered before I head out. Alright, got the first batch of mud on there. Got the bottom half of the east side done. I'm going to mix another batch and hopefully that'll finish the top there. And then probably one more to get that little patch on the west side done. Still got a little bit of straw to pack out there too. So it's about 6:15 right now. I just got finished with the second batch of adobe. I've got that little corner left. I'm trying to decide if I should push through and mix another batch or just save it for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be my last day. I'm hoping to get the rest of this plastered by the time I leave, and kind of the cob build up around the windows. Might just mix together all the dry materials right now, so I'm ready to go first thing in the morning. Alright, it's the next morning. It's Friday, so I'm going to be heading back home today. So I get to work for a little bit and then however it looks at the end of the day is how it's going to sit for a few days. We've got that little patch on the east side to do. I want to get all the cob around the windows done today, and then also these last two little sections over on the west side. So that's the goal for today. I've already got the dry materials sifted and ready to go for the mix. So hopefully we can get going here soon. I'm gonna make some coffee and some breakfast and then start mixing some mud. I'm inside the pallet shed, and I think this will be probably the end of this video. I was gonna try and get the outside completely plastered. I've really just got just a little bit on the other side of those two to do. But if you can't tell, the wind is going crazy. I can't even stand out there. I'm getting blown over. So I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna head back to Big Sky today anyway, so I might just clean up early, head back early, and then I'll be back out next week, and then I'll be finishing the plaster. I gotta fill in this section up here, and then same on the other side, and then hopefully be moving on inside to plaster the inside.